Hi everyone, welcome back with another tutorial on my YouTube channel, and today we are doing some card making tutorial. Now for today we are doing some very simple CAS cards which again can be easily mass produced. However, I really enjoyed the ink blending part of these tutorials. Now these cards is going to use very limited supplies, and of course you can use whatever you have handy. As always with all my videos, whatever products I show or use will be mentioned in the description of the video below. So, please feel free to check the blog link or the links mentioned in the video below. Now for the first card, I'll be using some stencil, the silhouette stencil of the dancer that I showed you. The card base here that I'm using is craftangles dual textured white. Now this is a cardstock that I always recommend if you are doing ink blending. And as you all know, the ink blending with distress ink is comparatively more difficult than oxides, and here I'm using distress inks itself, so you will see how well it blends out. Now for inspiration of the color themes, etc., as always I use Pinterest, and I am showing you here my inspiration photo for both the cards so that you can see how I pick up the colors and make my own card using that as an inspiration. Now as always, whatever colors that I have used for distress ink is shown on the video for both the cards, so you can definitely see the color shade names there. So here I'm kind of doing, more of a bluish sky, and in the second one I'm going to do more of a pinkish sky, so kind of I wanted to play with different color palettes. Now for this particular card, I've kind of doing a a rectangle card, so no extra stenciling, nothing. I'm just starting off with a piece of dual textured white, and I'll be doing some ink blending on top of it. Now with ink blending, I have already done a lot of videos, so you can see where I talk about these ink blending brushes and how they were a game changer for me. Again, these brushes have been mentioned in the description below, along with the links to buy them, etc. But the concept that I use over here is I start off with two colors. So here I'm using yellow and orange, and I first apply my first shade from one end to the other, so it is yellow, and then I apply orange, and then I kind of go back and forth in the center area where the yellow and orange merge, and I kind of blend it easily. Now for the first card, I was kind of going with not a very perfect ink blending. I wanted to do something faster, but I knew because I was going to do some splatter effect on top of it, so I knew that. So that's why you'll see I've not put in a lot of effort, but at the end of the day it still creates a beautiful vibrant background. Now I think I have not shown the splatter part, so I'm sorry, but just sprinkle something with a brush and then kind of pick up the water with a towel, and that will create that greeny effect or snowfall effect or a rainfall effect, and it kind of also takes away your eyes from any inconsistencies if you have in a blending. So this is just my way to my hack, you can say, to kind of fix if you have any imperfections in blending. Now here is what we are going to use, the silhouette stencil to kind of create the focal point of our card. So here you can see why I have been showing this particular tool to you. Now of course you could have masked this with a masking paper and kind of done it. However, if you are into doing a lot of cards, then this particular tool is something which I really love and highly recommend. So this is a Wendy Vecchi Make Art Studio. So it is kind of a magnetic plate in the background, and on top of it it has these 4 magnets and a magnetic scale. So what that does is it helps me with masking, it helps me with not moving of my stencil whenever I'm doing blending, like how I'm doing right now. It helps me to keep a paper stationary when I'm creating an ink blended background, like how I was doing earlier in the card. So again, this is just one of my favorite tool, and I wanted to share it with you all. Of course, if you are not a full-time crafter who doesn't enjoy having a lot of tools, etc., you could definitely do masking and kind of doing blending. But this kind of made my life really easy, because you'll see a lot of cards I have made using these stencils, which will be upcoming now that I've finally had time to edit them. So here you can see how crisp the image has come, the black image of the girl dancing. Now here I have used some sentiment, so I wanted to put motivational sentiment, and these cards would have been perfect for like a Women's Day Again, we have a lot of silhouette stencils, so this was the dancer girl. You could of course go with the one couple themed. We also have a couple themed stencil that you could have used for Valentine's, etc. I just wanted to kind of make some motivational cards, and this is what I decided. Now this sentiment is from Tim Holtz sticker book, but this was, I think, I shot this more than a year back, and I'm kind of now getting time to edit it. But over that period of time, we also have our own set of stickers that I think would go beautifully with these cards, and also some Hindi stickers. Again, I'll link all those stickers below for you. Now, just to mount the card on top of a card base. So card base, I have used craftangles notelets, which is a combination of a card base and an envelope, which you'll see in a second. And then on top of it, I have stuck this particular piece of ink blended background and stencil background, and that will call my card done. So here I have used some foam sheets rather than foam tape. So in case you have like I had a lot of stocks of these foam sheets from my personal stash, so I decided to kind of use them in cards, but you could definitely use foam tape if you have that. Now for the second card, I am using masking paper just to show you, if you are a person who has a lot of dies, then just by using that die with masking paper, you can kind of create your own shapes, and that you can use on top of a card to kind of create different looking cards. So essentially my card 1 and card 2 uses exact same technique, which you'll see going forward in this card. However, the only difference is in this particular case, the first step is different, where I'm cutting out a oval shape from the masking paper, and then I'll be using that as a stencil rather than an actual oval masking stencil. Now if you are a craftangles if you are a craftangles card making supplies holder, you would have seen we also have masking stencils, which I have used again in a couple of cards. But I just wanted, for those of people who don't have masking stencils but have dies, you could definitely cut them out of masking paper and then use them to create your own stencil like how I'm doing right now, and then apply it on top of a card. Again, as I said, with ink blending, the chances are very high that your ink will it will ink the back of your card, etc. So what I like to do is take a separate paper and then do ink blending on top of it, and then stick it to my card base rather than directly doing ink blending on card base. Now for my second card, I showed you the Pinterest color combination, right? The one that I'm using. Again, you would have seen that there was not a lot of pink in the card. However, I really liked how pink went with orange and yellow when I kept it side by side. So I kind of divested a bit away from the Pinterest image. So again, you do you. If you feel there is a particular combination that you can try out, check it out, do it. Just see for some inspiration, and I'm sure the color scheme will come to you. So again, the colors that you see over here are mentioned on the screen, the colors of distress ink I am using. Again, I am following the same exact thing. So I start off with the pinkish purplish tone, which is seedless preserves, and then I am applying a shade of orange, and then where the two colors meet, I am kind of going back and forth to kind of create a great blend. And then again, I am doing the same with the yellow and orange. Here you can see that again, I followed the exact same process, and here since I put in a little bit more effort while blending the two shades, I personally felt this blend came out much more smoother than the first one. And here I have not added any splatters or anything. And then what I'm doing is, again, same as my first card, I've kind of covered the particular silhouette that I wanted from the silhouette stencil of this dancing girl, and I'm selecting this particular one, and then I'm just going back with some black suit distress ink and adding that ink blending girl on top of that circular landscape that we just created. And here you'll see how beautiful and crisp the image has come. So again, you can mass produce them easily for like a gift to your crafty friends, or like principals, etc., teachers day, they would make beautiful cards. So here you can see how easy it was to clean that stencil. Again, this is something which I do a lot of times in the back end, and I don't show it to you guys, but I like to immediately clean my stencils, dies, stamps, etc., rather than pile them up. And I always say that keep some water handy to clean your stencils always. Now just at the feet I kind of added a hilly structure using the same torn pepper to kind of create the hill like structures. And then I have added the sentiment again from the same sentiment sheets by Tim Holtz, and here I have used the black one rather than the white one. And then I'm kind of sticking this the base that we created on top of my notelet, rather than foam mounting or anything. And here you can see how this helps. My notelet is kept stationary using some magnets on top of this particular make art station, and then I kind of line them straight, and then I'm able to stick it beautifully. So here are the two cards. As always, I leave you with a lot of close-ups. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and do consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you in my next tutorial, guys. Till then, take care. Bye bye.